My job is to build an America where nobody feels discriminated against or put upon. And one of the most important things I can do is just be who I am. I am proud of my Arab heritage. I'm proud of my Egyptian heritage. I'm proud of my faith, and I don't hide those things. And if there's an opportunity I have, it's to normalize them. So in getting to know me, people are going to get to know potentially the first Muslim person they've ever met, first Arab American they've ever met. And my job is to make sure that they understand what I'm about. And that, like, I'm the guy who wants you to have healthcare. I'm the guy who put glasses on kids and took on corporate polluters. I'm the guy who's going to fight fiercely for an America where your tax dollars are being spent on you. And my hope is that that is inspiring for people to reach beyond the divides and get to know other people who might look different to them in their communities. And I hope that that's inspiring for some young kid out there whose name might be a little bit different, who looks a little bit different, prays a little bit different, to think, hey, if that guy can do it with his name, maybe I could do it with mine. And so I think that ability to just be who you are and not hide from it, be proud of your background. It is the best of what America does. It's this ability to sort of come together around the notion that we are bigger than ethnic or faith identities. We're about a set of ideals. I remember when my dad became American. I watched it happen. I was 6 years old, and I remember my stepmom telling me, "Bubba's going to be an American today." I was like, "What?" So I'm expecting him to be like blonde and blue eyed at the end of this thing. I'm like, "How's that going to work?" And after he swears his allegiance to the United States, becomes an American citizen, I looked at her. I was like, "No, he's still Egyptian, very, very much Egyptian." And she's like, "No, no, no. America is not a look. America is not how you pray. America is not your accent. America is about your commitment to this idea, e pluribus unum, government of the people, by the people, for the people, a constitution that is greater than any political leader." And those are beautiful
Right.
things. America has always been big enough for all of us. There are some people who want to divide us and tell us it's not. But, in doing this, my hope is just to prove out the American hypothesis that America is big enough for everybody. And it's not going to be me. It's going to be everybody else and their choice about who they give their stake in democracy. And that's a real gift. So I'm grateful to be a part of it.
Amazing. We appreciate your authenticity, Dr. Abdul. Like, it definitely highlights your character and the the personality that is distinct from the other nominees. And I wanted to ask, you could have been a doctor. You could have continued down that field. You could have stayed in saving lives or medicine. And of course, as a politician, you're also saving lives in a different way. But what motivated you to shift course? Why not stick to the conventional route of just being a doctor and being a surgeon like your father wanted? And it's like most Arabs as well.
There are definitely
What
days
was
where
the
I'm like,
motivation?
man, I could have been a surgeon. When you swear that oath, that oath never really leaves you. I'm still a doctor. I just bring my my ethos to a different level. And I'll tell you this: when I was in medical school, I watched the hospital I was training at spit up and chew up and spit out a patient, and she became a referendum on my career in medicine. And I realized that our healthcare system in America is unbecoming of all the people who work in it, in large part
Right.
because it is more about moving money out of your pocket into the pocket of a C-suite than it is about taking care of the people who need the healthcare the most. The doctors, the nurses, the people who work in the system are incredible, but they work against the goals of the system itself. And I realized I wanted to become the kind of doctor who built a system that was worthy of the people who needed care in it and the people who are providing care in it. And so I see that responsibility in the work that I've done, both in public health as a public health director and the work I hope to do as a US Senator. Because at the end of the day, almost every circumstance in our healthcare system, as in our lives, sits at the end of a decision that politicians make. Why is it that our healthcare system makes so much money for the richest and chews up and spits out the poorest? Why is it that we are constantly making decisions that end up burning fossil fuels into the lungs of our kids, or building the kind of food environment that is pushing toward heart disease and stroke and cancer? Why is it that you feel unsafe walking in certain communities? These are all questions that sit at the edge of politicians' decisions. And don't we want politicians who ask the question of how does this maintain the public's health and improve our ability to live long, healthy lives together in community, making those decisions for us. I'm trying to bring that ethos to the Senate.